Welcome back, family. Before the video starts, I just want to thank all my channel members for the support. When you don't drink water, your brain shrinks. Scary fact, your head hurts when you're dehydrated because your brain is shrinking and dragging against the inside of your skull. Oh my goodness, let's check out the video, chat.
It is very common knowledge that if you're dehydrated, it can cause headaches, but I don't think a lot of people really know why that happens, the mechanism behind it. This is another scary fact video that I got tagged in, though I would argue this is a lot more interesting than scary. It says your head hurts when you're dehydrated because your brain is shrinking and dragging against the inside of your skull.
Wow.
Dehydration headaches are extremely uncomfortable, and I think that's worsened by the fact that this is actually true. When you don't drink water, the volume of your brain and surrounding areas shrinks. This pulls away from your skull, which then triggers pain receptors that tells your brain, hey, this does not feel great. On top of this, blood and oxygen flow are reduced, which can contribute to the headache and also cause lightheadedness. And additionally, electrolytes will typically be imbalanced at this point. The longer you wait to hydrate, the worse your headache is going to be. This is exactly why water is so critical for human survival, and you can't really survive more than a few days without it. For people with migraines as well, dehydration can cause actual migraines. So just make sure that you stay hydrated and try not to think about the fact that if you're not, your brain is shrinking.
Yeah, there's this concept called the 3-3-3 concept. It's where you can go 3 minutes without oxygen, 3 days without water, and 3 months without food. As long as you follow that, you should be alive.
Last night, a man drove his car through the front doors of Detroit Metro Airport's terminal building and ran into a ticket counter. This footage, which I've slowed down so you can see better, shows the moment the car broke through the doors. The man got out with his hands up. He was eventually arrested and was shouting some random phrase that it seems that no one on the internet can figure out exactly what he was saying. And as of now, it appears no one was injured, and also there's no motive as well. So this is just a weird incident.
Bro, that dude had to be drunk. Andrew Tate just dropped a bombshell on camera. I know who killed Charlie Kirk. Yo, Andrew Tate acting like they're not coming for him next. So if I was him, I'd be watching what I say. Let's see the video, chat.
Why do you think Charlie Kirk was assassinated? Do you think it was because of feminism?
Let's talk as professionals here. Sorry for the pause. I'm just scanning what's going to keep me alive. So I know who killed him. And the only person who is overtly giving theories as to who killed him publicly is Candace. The reason Candace.
Why do you pronounce Candace Owens' name Candace? Come on, Andrew.
Is breathing is because she is a woman and because she is black. And the people in charge have thought, they've concluded, you know what? Let a black woman scream. Most people will, even if they listen to her, it's a black chick and we're just going to let her scream into the air and we'll just put it down to black female hysterical action. So we'll just put it down to that.
You think that's it?
Yeah. We'll get some bots on Twitter and we'll get everyone to call her crazy and we'll pretend she's hysterical and we'll push all of this narrative that she's nuts with some paid influencers. And we're going to get everyone to call her crazy, even if she's right on the fucking money, even if she gets it perfectly right. Even in one of her episodes, if she describes it perfect, we're just going to convince everyone she's nuts because she's a black chick and we can convince people that she's just hysterical, like the Walmart ran out of fucking cocoa butter and she's mad. So let's just do that. If you're a man in a sharp suit like yours, or if I put a suit on and I sit there and I break it down in a very logical, there still is that degree of misogyny in the world where a man is taken a little bit more seriously with some things. And then if you get it directly on the money with a different tone and they can't really call you crazy, if you don't give them the second life, if you don't give them an easy layup, well then you pay the price.
Something seems off. Maybe I'm wrong.
I feel happy. I feel healthy. I'm a human being.
Say no more. Shh. Shh. Sir! First thing first, this video is for entertainment purposes only. We're just gonna break this down real quick, guys. Shh. Don't you ever say it. Darkness into light, right? Shows us that he's looking at the sun, aka Daywalker. Shh. Shut up! He's giving me V vibes. Big time. Not only that, guys, his whole page, he's saying the same thing over and over. Happy, healthy, human. 3 H's. You ready? Happy, emotional well-being, healthy, physical well-being, human being, recognition of self, existence, or consciousness. Shut up! As a human being, I ain't never had to tell somebody I was a human being. Human beings know that we're human beings, right?
Yeah.
Does a parrot ever tell us it's a parrot? Or does it just repeat what humans say? Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game. I ain't got you. Know what it is. Shh. Shut up. Go follow him. He's on this app. A happy, healthy human. His videos say all the same thing, but he's just expressing himself. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game. I ain't guys, and they out here. Shh. Shut up. But I tell you one thing. If I ever see somebody that gives me V vibes while I'm outside.
What does that even mean?
Have you heard the insane conspiracy theory that Erica worked for the CIA?
Erica Kirk?
If there was a guy who had massive influence and you had to put someone next to him all day, every day, on top of it all, I can't say that part.
We've seen in previous videos that I posted where they have said that she's been a spy. She worked at an orphanage that got shut down. She was in a movie where she assassinated someone. The connections are there, bro.
Did a test to see how they could activate the hardest punch you could do. They took an athlete, right? He was a fighter. First test they did, they let him punch normally. Next, they injected him with adrenaline and decided to see how much harder he could punch. His body tensed up, his muscles tightened. He punched it, it hit 600 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
And then they did another test.
Yeah.
They didn't. Instead, they took a coach, telling him all of these things to motivate him and get him hyped up. And then he went to go hit the bag, hit it. Do you think it did harder than adrenaline or less?
Probably less.
With the coach's motivation, that fighter hit 1,000 pounds of force. That was the hardest punch they tested all day.
Motivation?
Was coach's motivation. Was stronger than that as the chemical that your body makes for fight or flight.
Whoa.
So mentality, even over science.
Yeah, deadass.
I feel like it makes sense from like an evolutionary standpoint where people or even like our ancestors were just in tough situations and people were just like, yeah, like, yo, we gotta go, you know what I'm saying? Kind of just motivates your brain to just get moving. So in my opinion, it makes sense. Did you know Jamaica, rocket, and a moon emoji? What is going on in Jamaica?
Did you hear that the country of Jamaica just sent their first man to the moon? This is the rocket.
Bro, what? Does Jamaica know about this?
He's inside here. He's standing up because it's such a small rocket. And a lot of people are making fun of it, but it's just like the Jamaican bobsled team. They had a dream and they figured it out. That's him right there. His name is Wilfred Eyring. He'll get to the moon in a few days. The rocket touches down and his mission is only to be there for 10 minutes because they don't have the spacesuits with enough oxygen. So he has to hold his breath, plant a flag in the moon soil, Jamaican flag, and then they said grab a couple moon rocks and put them in your pockets. He can't grab a ton because they don't have enough room on the spaceship coming back home. I say congratulations, Jamaica, but I want to know what you think about it.
Dude, this has got to be the fakest, most patheticest video I've ever seen in my existence. Honestly, I'm gonna look it up right now, chat. I don't know if you guys could see it, but it says based on available information as of January 2026, there are no credible reports of Jamaica launching a mission to the moon.
Subscribe.
Yeah, it never happened, chat. Trump confirms super weapon used in Maduro's capture, calls it the discombobulator. It's like we're in an X-Men movie, man.
The U.S. has revealed a super weapon called the discombobulator that was used during the capture of Venezuela's Maduro. From the official White House website, our technologies permit us to manipulate time and space, to leave distance annihilated, cause things to grow, and improve productivity. The New York Times reported that during the attack on Venezuela, some of the Venezuelan bodyguards were unable to move and fell down vomiting. Tell me your thoughts on this and follow me to spread the word and to help regrow my account.
Dude, there's probably so many weapons that we don't even know about. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there definitely is. There's not even probably. There definitely is. But I'm just trying to say, like, how much more crazy can it really get, though? You know what I'm saying? We just developed quantum computing. America's last 24 hours in 3 minutes. What happened in the last 24 hours?
Say a picture's worth 1,000 words. Sometimes it's worth 1,000,000 files.
This is
Here's
crazy.
America in the last 24 hours. Yep, that was TJ Smooth. He said pedo protecting. Obviously, Trump heard it. He said, "Nah, you," and they threw a middle finger. TJ was immediately let go. I mean, I think we should start him a GoFundMe ASAP. Numbers have reached 12,000 maybe in Iran of civilians killed, standing up to the Islamic regime. And so they was asked about Iran because Iran was like, "Hey, if the U.S. come in here, we gonna retaliate." Trump said, "Okay, we knew this. We true to this, bitch. What you say?"
Yeah, Iran said that the last time I blew him up with the nuclear capability, which they don't have any longer. So,
Wow. What did he just say?
Iran said that the last time I blew him up with the.
Yo, he doesn't care. Oh my god. This is funny, bro. It's like we're in a reality TV. This is like prime Truman Show. If you guys know what that is. I mean, you guys definitely know what that is. This is prime Truman Show right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Nuclear capability, which they don't have any longer. So, Iran said that the last time. They better behave.
Better behave is some nefarious use of language. I'll tell you one thing, though, Iran. If we withdrawing personnel from the Middle East, that means that we sending bombs. So I'll take this shit with a grain of salt, but I'm just saying, within a week, most likely, we will be bombing y'all. Then an Iranian spokesperson gets on Fox News. He's like, slow your roll. See, yes, there was some protest. People were dying. But all of a sudden, shit went left and got real sinners out here because Mossad sent they people. And now, all of a sudden, protests turned into guns being shot at police officers, burnings of buildings, bombs being sent, and we didn't know how to retaliate. So we had to fight against the terrorists. This is an Israeli plot to drag Trump over into Iran, which he's been trying to do since '93, which is facts. But it's tough because, I mean, if you're an Iranian person, you have somebody in your family over there, they're dying. They can't gain contact with their family. So obviously, we need intervention yesterday, which civilians are dying. I would hope that we intervene. But at the same time, he's saying the reason the numbers are spiking so high is because Mossad's over there causing havoc.
Wanted to increase the number of deaths. Why? Because President Trump has said that if there are killings, he would intervene. And they wanted to drag him into this conflict. And that was exactly an Israeli plot.
So you know that on their TV stations, they're saying,
wow,
when that shit fall, we striking everywhere. All that. Burn that shit to the ground. And they don't be hiding their intentions. CBS stupid and new lows. Barry White, you by the way.
Wow.
But now they're saying,
language,
oh my
buddy.
God, Jonathan Ross, he suffered from internal bleeding. You guys are lying about the video. He had to go to the hospital. It's like, we know the story that he drove to the hospital. Then he was released within 1 hour. If you have internal bleeding, you're not released that fast. And obviously, cuckboy J.D. Vance, who knew? This is the same CBS. 50 minutes. You know, they were supposed to release an Epstein series. Cut that. Oh, we shipping people to Guantanamo Bay. They dying. We gonna cut that too. And now all of a sudden, well, guess what? There was internal bleeding. Taking over Greenland today because, you know, no new wars, but fuck it. We taking that shit over, even though we allies. Why I sleep vibes, man? This is how I see it. And Denmark's foreign minister came over. He's like, we're not just gonna give up Greenland. Like, could we just figure something out here? Like, what's going on, son? And he just says, he's like, I don't know. He has this vision. He has to conquer this shit. I'm telling you, bro. Trump be just old, demented, late at night watching movies, and he be like, that's what we about to do.
Hey, when you have all that power, you can do whatever you want. That's just how it is. That's how it's always been.
Ever wonder what's really in your Dunkin' iced coffee? Bubble guts and diabetes incoming.
Wow.
That coffee taste? Yeah, it starts as liquid sugar. Some drinks have up to 185 grams of it.
What?
They load it up with flavored syrups, each one packed with high fructose corn syrup and tons of other junk. You don't care though, right? Then comes the creamer, packed with oils, emulsifiers, and preservatives. Your gut will despise you. Most of the flavor? Not real, just chemical compounds made in a lab. Is this really how you want to start out your day?
Wow.
One large drink with syrup and cream can hit 800 calories before noon, and you haven't even eaten anything yet. Your blood sugar spikes, then crashes, and suddenly you need another one. Addiction never felt so good. So yeah, it's not iced coffee, it's dessert in a cup. Think about that next time you drive by.
You're already infected. Brain rot reels.
Dude, he said one of those can get up to 800 calories and 156 grams of sugar. That is really, really bad for you. I actually knew this girl that worked at Dunkin', and she told me that their eggs are made of gelatin. Gelatin in their eggs. And I was like, why? Why do they need to do that? Like, why couldn't it just be normal eggs? She said they wanted to preserve how it looks. Okay.
A man finds an old suitcase under a bridge in Portland in 2015. It's just sitting there in the dirt, covered in mud. He almost walks past it, but something makes him stop. The suitcase is heavy, really heavy. He drags it home. The locks are rusted shut. He uses a screwdriver to pop them open. Inside are bundles of $20 bills, hundreds of them. His heart starts racing. He counts the money, $15,000. But there's something else, a small notebook at the bottom. He opens it. Every page has dates and numbers written down. Then he sees names, lots of names he doesn't recognize. One name appears over and over, someone named Marcus. He searches that name on his computer. His stomach drops. Marcus was a bank worker who disappeared in 2012. The news said he vanished without a trace. The dates in the notebook match exactly when money went missing from the bank. He keeps reading the notebook. The last page has an address written in red ink. It's only 3 blocks from where he found the suitcase. He grabs his phone and dials.
If you do this, get ready to go to prison. Getting free food from receipts thrown out. Let's see it.
No way, there's actually a receipt. We are going to be copying these items. It says that they got Diet Coke.
From what I can tell, this trend appears to be catching popularity, but I'm here to tell you guys, this is a terrible idea. Don't do this. Gotta be honest, this video feels staged, though I do know a lot of people do this for real. It shows this guy walking up to Target, rummaging through a trash can, finding a used receipt, and then going into the store, collecting everything on the receipt, and walking out with free food and drinks. This is a new method that I've seen a lot of people using in fast food chains, as well as these grocery store chains. And just like the other methods that people have been putting you on to game the system, like the Chase Bank glitch, for example, this is dumb. This is straight up a crime, and you're going to be prosecuted, or at least a good portion of people will be prosecuted. Typically, there's 2 variations of this. People either go in, get the items, and come out, or they'll go in, collect the items, and then pretend to return them for cash. This is classified as either fraud or theft, and depending on where you're at and the context, you could be serving up to a year or even 3 years. And I tell you what, with the rise of AI and facial recognition software and everything else, they're probably keeping tabs on you, and once you reach a certain point, they're going to press charges. This is stupid. Do not do it.
You do something like that, you're cooked. You know what I'm saying? If they catch you, it's over. Sorry, buddy. You're gonna be in the pen for a little bit.
F-16's first flight ever was an accident. Let me explain. On January 20th of 1974, the YF-16 prototype was at Edwards Air Force Base in California getting ready for what was only planned to be a high-speed taxi test. Test pilot Phil Estricker pushed the jet down the runway, but as it accelerated and reached higher speeds, it seemingly started to lose control as shown here. At that point, instead of trying to force it back under control while on the ground and risk damaging the jet, or worse, he made the call to take it airborne. So for the first time ever, the YF-16 lifted off at Edwards Air Force Base, turning a taxi test into the first F-16 flight ever.
It looked like it had a little bit of struggle right there.
Kind of creepy.
Should have turned back. He just keeps going.
Oh, this way.
Bro literally just saw a skeleton.
This is where most people would turn around. If you turn around, you never get to see what's on the other side. That's where all the gold is waiting over there. Could be missing out what's on the other side. Hello?
Mm-mm. Yeah, get out of there, dude.
God, there's even more bones than last time.
Yo, did bro just go back? Yo, imagine he turns around and then the whole path was blocked off. Oh my god, I'd literally trip out.
Oh, there's 2 ways. Holy crap, dude, this trail going on forever. It just got really quiet really fast. That was my cue to leave.
The following footage was recorded by hotel security camera on September 14th, 2003. Wow.
What room is that?
It has not been edited.
John, do you copy?
Alright, so we got 4. Never mind.
209. Amy says nobody's checked into that room, and there's reports of screaming coming from that room. Amy, he's on his way down there right now.
Who's watching him? Security? Someone's screaming.
What's going on, John? There's no one checked into that room. There should be nobody in there.
So no one should be in that room that they're hearing the screaming from.
Yeah, John says he hears the screaming coming from that room. And I hear it too.
Yeah.
But we're sure that no one's checked into that room. Correct? John, just wait. We're going to get a hold of the police. So, I would wait for the police, John.
John's brave. John's checking it out.
Amy, John's going to enter the room real quick just to check, make sure, see what's going on. Wait one. John? John, are you there? Okay, Amy, John wants you to call the police right now if you don't mind.
What he see though?
There's no one's in there, but that all of the furniture's been turned upside down and the hold on. He says the carpet's been ripped up and that the shower is on, but nobody's in there. Man, that's scary.
Yeah.
I'm officially freaked out now.
In case you missed it. Proof that the historic winter storm is manufactured. Let's see it.
Something wicked this way comes. That's fucking crazy. A straight fucking line across the sky. Wow.
There's a video going around on social media, and if you haven't seen it, I hope you don't, because it will make you sick to your stomach. Authorities from Hot Springs, Arkansas made an arrest after a violent fight that took place outside of a gas station on Saturday night. When authorities got there, they found 20-year-old Noah Epperson suffering from severe injuries due to the fight. He was taken to the hospital and he is currently in critical condition. When they got there, they also arrested 18-year-old Cooper Campherdam because of what he did to Noah. Now, obviously, I'm not going to show the video on here. You can go look it up if you want. But in the video, it shows Cooper literally jumping on the head of Noah while he is already lying on the ground, flat on his back, defenseless. Noah is currently in intensive care with a fracture to the skull, a fracture to the jaw, and he has hearing loss in his left ear. Noah doesn't have health insurance and he's gonna be out of work, so his best friend set up a GoFundMe for him to help him during this time. Cooper had his first court appearance. His bond was set at $500,000 and he's facing a first-degree battery charge, which is a felony. Police said they plan to make more arrests as they investigate further, but prayers to Noah. Let me know what you guys think about this, and as always, I'll keep you guys updated.
On December 25th, 2020, a 63-year-old man named Anthony Quinn Warner drove his RV to Nashville, Tennessee's 2nd Avenue and woke up nearby residents with the sound of a robotic digital female voice coming from his RV, warning everyone around the vehicle to evacuate the area.
Evacuate now.
Wow.
If you can hear this message.
Soon, the female voice repeatedly mentioned that the RV was going to detonate, and a little after 6 a.m., the voice became more and more insistent, announcing that the vehicle would detonate in 15 minutes. In the body cam footage that was later released by the authorities, a group of Nashville police officers can be seen walking around the downtown area, urging any stragglers to evacuate for their own safety.
So you're not doing anything wrong, okay? You're not in trouble, but there is something serious happening down the road.
Go for 11.
Okay? Do you mind going down to 2nd and
Where do they need to go when they are evacuating?
That's so weird. That's like something
That is weird. I don't know if it was me, but it was just giving Purge vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like how the movie The Purge, they would have people on speakers in ice cream trucks and stuff like that. It was giving that type of vibe. But me personally, if I heard something like that, I'm immediately evacuating the area, real or fake, because I'm not taking the risk on that.
Remember that famous story about that woman who broke up with that guy and then he burned her face with acid?
What?
Now, the woman's name is Katie, and Katie is 24 years old, living in London. Here's the thing about her. She is apparently very attractive. All her life, people have been telling her that she is fine. Sometimes strangers will come up to her on the street and they'll tell her that she is fine.
Bruh.
And because she's got this going on for her, she has long decided that she's gonna try and make it as a model. And she legitimately has some success. She's gotten some gigs doing some modeling. She's had a few TV appearances in the UK. Like she was a presenter on a show that sold solar panels or something. She also worked on a quiz show. And sometimes she works as a ring girl at martial arts matches. So that's cool too.
Yeah.
And because she's working steady, she's making not a lot of money, but more money than she's ever made before. So this is all going really well for her. But then one day in 2008, something happens that's gonna change her life forever. That day, Katie is checking her Facebook, and she sees that she has a message from a guy she doesn't know. And the guy is this dude, Danny. And Danny, he's described as a martial arts enthusiast, which makes it sound like he's one of those guys who is obsessed with MMA. He also doesn't appear to have a job, so there's that. Regardless, he reaches out to Katie on Facebook to, I guess, tell her how fine he thinks she is and to ask her out. Danny had apparently been following her modeling career for a while, like he had seen her in something, and he felt like he needed to go and find her on Facebook and try and talk to her. Which feels creepy to me, but I guess it worked because these two start messaging.
That is a rare pull, chat. You can't just go messaging a model and then boom, expect a response and actually go out with them. Mostly if it's a female, because most females, they just be like, nah, I'm not talking to nobody.
Back and forth. Then they start talking on the phone, and eventually Katie agrees to meet up with him. So they meet up in person, and surprisingly, she's into him. And they go out on a date, and it goes well, so they go out on a second date. And by the end of their second date, Danny likes her so much that he tells her, I love you.
Wow.
And while that may sound like a red flag to us, Katie actually finds Danny sweet and nice and all of those things.
Second date, I love you is crazy. I don't know if I would be scared or like genuinely, I feel like I'd be terrified. Because I'm like, dude, you don't even know me. What do y'all think about that, chat?
So after that, Danny starts coming on even stronger. He's asking to see Katie every single day. Even Katie's friends are like, are you sure about this guy? He's kind of weird. But Katie keeps on going out with him. And as they continue to see each other, Danny starts to get a bit controlling. Like he's demanding that she not spend so much time with her friends because he wants to be with her every day. Now, keep in mind that at this point in the story, they've only been dating for 2 weeks. So one night, they go
Okay.
on another date in London. And after the date, they decide to stay the night in a local hotel. And there, I guess Danny's expecting that they are going to smash, which I'm sure they had done before, but on this particular night, Katie, she's just not feeling it for whatever reason. She doesn't want to do it, and she's just going to go to bed instead. And this pisses Danny off. He takes this rejection personally, like she insulted him, and he starts to feel like he's losing her. So he starts swearing at her, and he threatens her, like, who does she think she is rejecting him like that? And this guy becomes completely unhinged, and he starts beating her up, and he threatens to murder her, and he won't let her leave. And 1 minute...
All because she said she was tired. What is this dude doing?
He's screaming at her. The next minute, he's crying.
Oh, no.
Then he also SAs her. And this torture goes on for 8 hours. Until finally, Katie is able to convince Danny that everything is going to be fine and that they can still continue to date.
Hell
so
no.
he allows her to leave and go home. Obviously, she has no intention of continuing this relationship. She just wanted to get the hell out of there. So Katie goes back to her apartment and she locks herself in there. And she feels too traumatized to report him to the police at this point because, you know, he was threatening to kill her. So 2 days go by and Katie is still in her apartment. And she hasn't left or spoken to anyone. But Danny's crazy ass has been calling over and over and over again. He's also sent a ton of texts and emails and Facebook messages. And so Katie messages him back, and she tells him that she wants nothing to do with him. I mean, she's actually afraid of him. And so he starts blaming his abusive behavior in that hotel on steroids that he had taken, because I guess he's on steroids and he claims he had taken too much. But the main thing he keeps texting her is that he wants her to leave her apartment to go to a nearby internet cafe to read some emails that he had sent her. Because it's 2008 and I guess she doesn't have a smartphone and she can't check emails with her phone. And he spends hours begging her to do this. Please go read this email I sent you, before he finally says, okay, if you go to the cafe and read this important email I sent you, I will leave you alone forever. And this is the point where Katie finally agrees. Fine, I'll go read your stupid email. So she leaves the apartment and she starts walking toward this internet cafe. 1 minute after she leaves her place, her phone rings and it's Danny. And he's asking her where she is and what she's wearing. Because what she doesn't know is that Danny has hired a goon to wait outside her apartment until she walks by, and then he's going to attack her. That's
That
why
is
Danny wants
wild.
her to leave her place so bad. That attacker friend is this guy, Stefan. And so Stefan is outside in his hoodie, and he's holding a cup of coffee full of sulfuric acid. Once he sees Katie, he walks up to her, and kaboom! He throws that acid directly in her face. And there's actually CCTV footage of the whole attack, so you can see Katie here, and Stefan is here, and there he throws it in her face. Now, keep in mind that she's still on the phone with Danny, so he's hearing her scream, and he's probably happy that his plan worked. And so Stefan runs away, while Katie also runs away into a nearby cafe and yells for help. And from there, someone calls an ambulance, and she's rushed to the hospital. Meanwhile, police investigate, and they start looking for Katie's attacker. And, you know, there's CCTV footage of him, so pretty quickly they find Stefan, and he's got acid burns on his hands, and so, bam, police arrest him. Here's his mugshot. And it only takes a few days before Stefan flips, and he tells police that it was Danny who put him up to it. And so, bam, police arrest Danny too. Here's his mugshot. And while that's going on, Katie is in the hospital. And she has to undergo serious treatment. She's been blinded in her left eye. She essentially has no eyelids and her nose has been completely burned off. She also swallowed some of the acid, so her esophagus and stomach are all fucked up. She's got all kinds of damage. And so she spends 12 days in the ICU and 7 weeks in the burn unit, and she has to have tons of reconstructive surgeries. But Katie is a fighter. She is not about to give up. After she recovers, she becomes a motivational speaker and she writes books, and she starred in and produced in more than one documentary.
Wow.
I want to be able to shout and laugh and my face to feel loose and moist. And that's what's important for me, not restoring what, society says is beautiful.
So clearly, she is thriving. She's doing really well these days. While Stefan, he gets sentenced to 6 years in prison, and Danny, he gets sentenced to 16 years to life in prison. And also, here is a picture of Katie today, and she's obviously thriving, so good for her.
That's amazing, chat. That's crazy. Even when she had the acid thrown in her face, she didn't look ugly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, it kind of looked like a little bit like off, but she wasn't ugly. And even right here, she looks perfectly normal. We love stories like that, chat. Like, even look, like right here, I'm guessing this is probably like a year, 6 months, year, maybe even 2 after the incident happened. And you know what I'm saying? She still doesn't look bad.